Welcome home. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. We are Baltimore positive. We are taking the show on the road. Going to be at Red Brick Station in White Marsh for the very first, well, not for the first time, for the first time doing the Maryland Crab Cake Tour presented by the Maryland Lottery. I'll have the Back to the Future scratch offs to give away. Not my first rodeo at the Red Brick Station. I didn't know enough about brewing and craft beer back last century. I've been educated over the last 30 years. Bill Blocker's going to be doing that with us, as well as Nick Stewart, who is a Catonsville guy who's been on the show before, who's running for Baltimore County Executive. We'll be doing all of that on Wednesday in White Marsh on the Avenue. Also getting the Crab Cake Tour back to Fadley's on the 28th of the month with the Cardinals in town, as well as starting things off in May. Back up at Hampstead. We're going to be up at Greenmount Station with my pal Chris up there eating a delicious crab cake and getting to know Carroll County. This guy gets to know all 23 counties as well as Baltimore City. Never the district, although he'll sell you tickets and let you go live in the district and maybe even cash them. John Martin is the executive director of all things Maryland Lottery and Gaming. As we enter my grandfather was the bugle player at the racetrack back in the late 50s and early 60s. So I would say, and down the stretch we come, John Martin. It's a sort of a pre-Preakness week here. We got not enough home runs. We're not running you as ragged as we need to on the baseball side. I'm being honest with you.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lot going on, but I don't want to miss the comment earlier. Red Brick Station's in my backyard. I may have to fire up the Maryland Lottery Mobile and make a little jaunt over there on Wednesday.
Well, you're not eligible to receive free tickets, but you can certainly come by and enjoy a beverage, a blueberry ale if you wish, or a delicious crab cake. This is the story on Red Brick, and I'm going to tell this story with Bill Blocker, who's been the proprietor there forever. I was a kid living in the neighborhood. My son went to Perry Hall, and I moved out into that area about 1997, 98, and they built the Avenue. This is how little I knew about. And I'm going to do the Maryland party next week with all the shopping mall retailers. Let them laugh at me too. And I'll tell them this story is that they built it, and I lived in White Marsh, and I went to the mall, and I remember the mall being built in 1981. My kid went to the mall. Everybody went to the mall. They didn't even have a movie theater in the White Marsh Mall, which is a little different at the time. And I remember saying to Bill Blocker and Tony Del Rose, who also, we created magic over there on the Avenue. I said, who's ever going to come to the Avenue? You go into the mall. Everybody wants to be in the mall. It's inside. Who's going to go outside and shop? What's wrong with you people? You're going to lose everything. And then 30 years later, he's making beer. He's laughing at me. So I don't know anything. It's like knowing lottery numbers. I just play 936 and hope for the best.
Once again, cementing your claim as the visionary that you are.
I like that.
Nice,
That's good. You've seen
nice.
my LinkedIn. Hey, this is a big week because of horse racing. We did racetracks last week and all of that other
Yes.
stuff. But let's dive into it this week a little bit as far as racetracks and playing that a little bit more because it is a fun time of the year to talk about that. And I hope we get a Derby winner. That's all I hope. I'm always hoping for a Triple Crown.
Well, I don't want to be the one to break the news to you. It will not be this year.
I know.
So, yeah, you know what? That probably makes. I am not a horse racing guy,
Gives
whether
me
it's
no feeling of
racetracks.
sovereignty. I tell you, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
yeah. But you know what? I mean, we are an enlightened people, are we not? In this day and
I
age,
love
in
animals. I was at the
2025.
zoo 2 weeks ago. I know. I understand.
Yeah, yeah. And you think back on just what happened over the last century plus in these races. Yeah, I mean and what's it take to really stretch it out? I mean, come on, they
Fix
can't
the
do one.
calendar.
Yeah,
Fix the
right.
calendar.
You
Right.
know,
Heal thyself. And listen, I'm
exactly.
old, right? So I mean, my first
Yes.
my first Preakness, the dual storytelling, I had a press pass at the Baltimore News American in 1984, 85, and 86. And that was the beginning of everything where Spend a Buck did not come to the Preakness. And it was and now it's sort of like, well, it's 2 weeks and the horse needs time and these are
Yeah.
big investments. And yeah, so I'm with you. But racetracks is still here though, right?
Racetrack 24/7,
365.
365 is what I wanted
Right,
to
right.
say. Thank you. Thank you. We'll,
366 in leap years.
we'll take that out in post-production.
That's good.
We'll be glib as always. But yeah, people go to mdlottery.com and this is I lost track of the years. And once it gets past, my fingers and thumbs.
Toes.
I
Yeah.
I have no idea how many it is, but it's been a while. And every spring, to commemorate the Triple Crown, we offer a $6 value for a $5 purchase. And people enjoy that. They flock to it. They play
They race to
responsibly.
it.
They ran.
Right.
Nice,
You like
nice.
that? Yes.
Hey, seriously, your grandfather was the bugler?
My grandfather's Tommy Arenas, my mother's father, and he was a trumpet player in a band, and it was his goal in life to go to California and be in Guy Lombardo's band. He tried out for Lawrence Welk's band at one point, which my mom thought was good, Salmonex. So
The bubbles
he,
tickle his nose. Was that a
yeah.
problem?
Oh, that's great, man. So right before Hee Haw, when I was a kid, nonetheless, and I still turned out all right. But no, he blew the bugle in the Preakness in 57, 58. I'd have to go back and I don't know if you've ever done this, but as an old media guy, I've been up to the top of Pimlico many, many times, and this is the last year, so I want to give a little
Yes,
love to
yes.
that. And there's a long hallway. It's always 150 degrees because it's like an unheated. It's a roofway
Sure.
that leads to the press box in the old Pimlico. And along that walkway, out of the slowest elevator, gotta be east of the Mississippi. You get out. So there's a little knobs on it and a little turner, and you walk through, and all of the charts from all of the Preaknesses of last century, none from
Oh,
this century. I mean, I've been walking through there since I was a kid, since 1984,
yeah.
85. So Cannon Secretariat, Aloma's Ruler, Swale, all of those horses, they're all, a part of the charts. And all of the charts are autographed. And because it's up top and the sun has hit it, a
Yeah.
lot of them have
Lost
faded.
it.
But
Yeah.
I'm talking Jack Whitaker, Howard Cosell,
Ah.
you know what I mean? Like all of the people that were there back in the day. Pete Axtell, there's an old
Oh
gambling name
man.
for you. So, but the only time in my life I ever saw Howard Cosell was in that parking lot as a media member in that era, walking through. He was a giant 6'7" man wearing the gold ABC Wide World of Sports. But this is such a rich tradition we have here. It's such, I mean, and I know you're the executive director of Maryland Lottery and Gaming and sports wagering and all that, but this is such a rich thing for Maryland and for tradition, even for a guy from Ohio, right? Like
Well, I
watching this race is
oh,
something. It's a big
absolutely.
deal.
Absolutely. I've been fortunate enough to attend it once or twice. And yeah, I hope they have a place in the new Pimlico for that type of memorabilia. That's classic stuff. Also classic stuff are promotions that we run daily here at the lottery. And I would again invite people to go to mdlottery.com for all the details. We have our typical racetracks promotion we just talked about, which is very, very fun. But we also are allowing things to do first time in a long time, maybe even ever. We have a great promotion with our friends, yours and mine, at Royal Farms. It's called the free gas giveaway.
Oh, you got my attention. I don't know how much gas costs. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we invite people who are purchasing the new $5 Mega Millions ticket. If you purchase $10 worth of tickets, which is basically two plays on one ticket, that is your entry. One $10 ticket equals one entry into a Royal Farms special promotion starting now until the end of June. And we will begin awarding weekly Royal Farms gift card winners ranging in value from $250 up to $1,500. And that will fill up the tank a few times, Nestor.
Well, you talk about free gas. I would use it on the fried chicken once in a while. I mean, you know what I mean? If I like the fried chicken too.
Well, in the disclaimer on the bottom, yeah, you can do that. I mean, but we're using free gas as the appeal. But yeah, once you have that gift card in your hands and you are a bona fide winner, go to eligible Royal Farms locations and you can turn that in. You may not buy lottery tickets with it. That is the one stipulation legally. You may win through the lottery, but in terms of redemption, it has to be on non-lottery items available at your local Royal Farms. So
All
check out
right.
the details.
I've talked a lot about this week, and I hope by the time people hear this, they've hit some home runs and they've run you around and had to give some money away. But we got to talk home run riches a little bit
Yes,
here.
yes, we do.
You give the names. I see the names every night they're there. Every night I cross my fingers. Even like, let's say over the weekend, you hit 4 home runs in a game and give up 7. We're not
Yeah.
giving money away for strikeouts. We're not giving
No.
money away for other teams' home runs. It's just Oriole home runs, right, John?
And to date, at least as you and I speak right now, we have paid off 41 home runs, one of those being a grand slam for a prize package total of $42,000. Our current progressive jackpot that you can hopefully buy your Home Run Riches fast play ticket is progressive jackpot is now over $82,000, and that continues to grow until hit. But we do also post on our website a calendar of upcoming games, and it's time to play our favorite game, Nestor. Where in the world is fill in the blank? Are
Go
you
ahead.
are you standing by?
You
Is
gave
your
me
is your
Lothian last week, and I still haven't looked that up. But go ahead. I'm going to look that up
no,
now.
no, Lothian, that's an easy one.
That's
I've
an
got
easy
one
one.
here
Okay.
that I have one here. I think I'm going to stump you. But coming up on they're out west. They go to Los Angeles and play the Angels this weekend. And we have Deborah Baker is our contestant of the game on Friday night. Deborah's from Pasadena, Maryland. We then also have Dennis Stokes Sr. from Upper Marlboro on Saturday. But on Sunday, Tammy Murray from Sudlersville,
Sudlersville.
Sudlersville, Maryland. I don't know where that is. Do you?
Do you remember Stump the Schwab on ESPN? I knew that guy. He'd been on my show. Yeah, Sudler. I'm googling it. Sudlersville, Maryland. Sud rhymes with mud. Looks like they have a nice pizzeria there. This is right near Millington that we talked about a few weeks ago, where my buddy had a place. This is on the Eastern Shore.
Okay.
It's due east of like Chestertown, but not all the way to, let's say, the Delaware line on the way to Dover. So lovely corn being grown out there this time of the
Oh,
year, and
knee
the Royal
high.
Farms chicken tastes even better on the Eastern Shore. I'll tell anybody that.
It's fresher there
Yes, it
for
is.
a lot of reasons.
Well, I hope
But
that it's great that we have Oriole fans on the Eastern Shore. We need them there too. And when you said Upper Marlboro, that's working on the Nationals. So I like when
well,
there's Oriole fans everywhere throughout the state. We
hey,
need
speaking
more.
of the Nationals, quick fun fact for you, and again, depending on when people choose to listen to this. So yesterday, as we speak, sorry, the Nationals and the Guardians
I
had to
saw
make
part
up
of that game. I was at a networking event. The game was on, but go ahead. Tell me what I don't know what
had
happened.
to make up a doubleheader because it rained out the night before, and the Guardians scored 9 runs in both games and ended up splitting the doubleheader. That's like an algebra equation if you think about it too long. 9 runs in each game and walked away with a split.
Well, you and I are baseball people, and anybody promoting baseball say you go to the game because you could see something you've never seen before. I honestly hitting 4 home runs and giving up seven, hitting
Yeah.
four and losing by 5 runs, striking
Yep.
out 17 times with only 3 hits,
Oh
losing
boy.
24-2. When I've seen all sorts of stuff. What I want to see them do is cost you money, John Martin, executive director of the Maryland Lottery and Gaming,
Wow.
because
Wow.
they're not hitting enough home runs and
That
they're not
that ought
costing
to
you
get them.
enough money.
That ought to get them motivated.
You
Hey,
know
you know
what?
what
If
else
I
is
gave that speech this weekend in Anaheim, I'd win Deborah there some money, and you'll
well,
be sending a big check to Sudlersville. You'll be financing the Eastern Shore.
yeah. If you give that speech, that wouldn't be the only Mickey Mouse thing going on out there
All
at that
right, go
time. So
ahead. Here we go.
Monopoly. There's another fun game that our players enjoy, and we have for the first time had a second chance contest with what we call a rolling cash jackpot. And just this week, we had our second rolling cash jackpot winner of over $110,000, and that lucky winner. Drum roll, please, as I get the name up here.
Well, as you get the name up, I'm going to hold the Monopoly tickets up because they are lovely.
Good,
I
very
thought these were the
nice.
most beautiful. They don't smell, which like the Christmas ones. I'm
No,
working on that, but I do
no,
like
no,
the
no.
little community. See that little guy there? That's John Martin there running and getting the money to pay off the
Yes.
all the home run riches.
Where's my
There you go.
hat?
There you go. That's good.
I don't have my hat. Jocelyn Jocelyn Quinishet. I hope I'm saying that correctly. From Laurel, Maryland, is our rolling cash jackpot Monopoly second chance winner. Congratulations, Jocelyn. You've won over $110,000.
Well, that is a community chest there. I
There
like
you
that's a
go.
lot of
There
money.
you go. That'll
That's
take
good.
you around the board once or twice. So yeah, she's having a lot of fun. And we have one more rolling cash jackpot that will be selected at the end of June. So again, you can visit all the details online at mdlottery.com, and you can enter in our second chance to win based on the scratch tickets, and you get a different number of entries per dollar value of the ticket. For example, $1 ticket will get you one entry. A $5 ticket gets you 5 entries. $20 ticket gets you 20 entries. you kind of figure out how it goes from there.
Yeah, I
So,
see. It's
uh,
just up here, just like this, right?
yes, yes,
Correct.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
good. All
yes.
right. Well, I
So
hope
yeah,
she
have fun
puts
with
some
that.
houses on Park Place and Boardwalk for us this summer if she's
Oh,
won
absolutely.
100
With that
grand.
kind of
That's
stuff. Yep.
well, I mean, we talk about this all the time, and MD Lottery, but more than that, downloading the app and getting involved that way. That's the best way to play. When I give the tickets out, I tell people it's right on your phone these days. You don't have to mail anything off for second chance. It's very, very easy, and it's fun. You got a promotion this summer. I don't want to. It's out on the front of the website. Some like it hot, some like it cold. I thought I was going to do the Jerry Lewis Tiffany thing here with you earlier in the last thing when I said we need to give more money away in home run riches. But this isn't fire and ice promotion. I don't think we've talked about this one, John.
Yeah, it's not really a promotion. It's just identifying. A lot of times, what they do is bundle tickets together, at least from a marketing perspective. So obviously, the terms fire and ice kind of go together. Um, and we have our current $30 ticket called Fire, our $10 ticket called Ice. And so we invite people when they stop by their local Maryland Lottery retailer, one of the 4,300 locations around the state, that if their budget allows, their discretionary income allows, that they consider the $30 Fire ticket, top prize $2 million, and our $10 ice ticket, top prize $100,000. And you can see how many of those top prizes are still remaining when you go to mdlottery.com and get more information about the fire and ice ticket, and stop by a local Maryland lottery retailer near you.
I like your weather promotions when it's like really hot, you give away a lot of money, or really cold, you try to make people feel better, give them money. So Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice was the theme of the 1984 Baltimore Skipjacks. Fire on Ice is what it was. John Martin.
Whoa.
Hey, that's old school for me. I've got my old Skipjacks. I got a clock that I found at a thing in Hamden at a flea market. So I'm old school. Fire on Ice was my thing. John Martin is here. He's executive director of all things Maryland Lottery and Gaming. Did we leave anything out? Because last week we had events and spring. We've talked Preakness. There's nothing more important than Preakness and the Orioles right now. Fixing this ship. We'll be getting back out to the ballpark later on. I'll be down to Fadley's later on in the month. But it is a lovely time of the year to get out and maybe win a few things. And I know you're involved in all this all summer long.
It is a wonderful time, and especially if you happen to be a golfer, you can go to mdlottery.com and see a wonderful winner story of a Delmar man who was out playing golf. He bought a lottery ticket before he went out to play golf, wasn't a winner. Went back to the same store after he played a round of golf, bought another ticket, and ended up winning $1 million prize.
Well, this promotion's called 1 Million Royale. It's like I'm not Royale with cheese. That's a different movie, but it says 1 million right on the ticket. So you're
Yep,
thinking like, man, what are the odds? Maybe I win $20 or something. Maybe
exactly.
whatever. $1 million. After a round of golf.
Yeah, yeah. And
Timing's everything. You got to be lucky, right?
I don't know what kind of golfer he is, but I don't think it matters anymore. With $1 million, you can pay for a lesson or two if you need it.
They have golf in Walea. I know. I saw the course
Do
right
they
there in
really?
Hawaii. Yeah.
Oh,
John Martin is here. He is there at Baltimore Positive. You can find him anytime, anywhere. We try to get together once a week and talk about all of these promotions. Always reminding folks, do this responsibly. It's a big week around here with horse racing and thinking Preakness and all that and getting out wearing pretty hats. And hopefully we get good weather here. Did I get everything in, John?
we are good. And for more details, again, mdlottery.com to check up on the latest products and promotions coming your way. But please, above all, play responsibly.
All right, we'll get these jackpots up. We can start talking about that and get my wife activated to get out and get all that done. Luke is activated with baseball this week. The entire world of Baltimore eyes on the Orioles saying, please, some pitching, hit the ball, somebody. Jackson Holiday's looking pretty good right now. We'll be up late with the Birds all weekend long in Anaheim. I am Nestor. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore Positive.